Hey all, Josh Denbo, civil rights attorney, consumer rights attorney. There's a lot of pain, a lot of rage, well-deserved, going on throughout the country. And we're ravaged by a disease. I'm under stress. Everybody's under stress. We hear horrible things happening in the world and in our country and to our own people. There are a few moments of joy. Police officers walking with protesters. White police officer hugging a sobbing protester. I love those, and they mean something. They matter, and I can't add to that because I can't add to that, but I can tell the story. I've had an interesting career. Look, I've been to Guantanamo Bay. I have played soccer against one of my Guantanamo Bay clients in the former Soviet Gulag prison in Slovakia. My father and I tracked down Sheriff Jim Clark and were the last to interview him from his nursing home in Elba, Alabama 15 years ago. We're going to tell that story soon. I've also had the pleasure and the honor of representing people who have been victimized by police violence. I want to tell a story today about one of the most difficult cases I had with a great outcome. It was a horrible case. Involved a baby that died after 3 days, and the baby's remains were destroyed by a bank. True facts. I can't say which bank, it's under a confidentiality agreement, but I represented the mom, the dad who weren't married, and the maternal grandma. And in the midst of the case, which took 3 years, the mom died. So I had the boyfriend and the maternal grandmother, who were obviously not related. There was just such pain in that family, such loss, even beyond what I just described here. And at the end of it, through 3 years, 4 years of intense litigation, the other side blinked. We ended up settling the case for a lot of money. I remember sitting at the settlement table, and this is where people, in many occasions, fall apart. Where they're together, and then money's available, and then bang, the world blows up for them and they start fighting. I've seen it many times. We're at the settlement. We have a number on the table that we have to accept, and we do. And then we talk about dividing the money. And the boyfriend, who had had a very, very difficult life, looked at his girlfriend's mom and said, okay, you take it. I don't know how to handle that kind of money. I want you to take it, and I want you to invest it and help me do what I need to do with it. And I said to them, wait a second, guys, I'm with you, but I can't represent the both of you in an agreement like that because there's a potential conflict. And I remember they both looked at me like I had two heads, like I was Zaphod Beeblebrox. And they both looked at me and said, well, we don't need that. And I knew from the look in their eyes that they didn't. And no contract, no written agreement, nothing. Just agreement. That was a lot of money. And I've heard recently from my client, who I'm incredibly proud of, who picked up his life, used some of the money to invest in the seed business, and who built a business and is now a successful businessman. And I can't tell you how proud I am of him, from the place he was at when I first met him to now. And it's because of his human decency, his honesty, his personal courage, and his determination to do what was right and fair. And the same for the grandma. I'm in touch with both of them. And that moment where the human love of a shared experience trumped personal greed, it's unfortunately rare, but it happened here, and it worked out, and it brings tears to my eyes whenever I hear from them, because it was such a beautiful moment, and it's how people ought to treat one another in times of stress and times of success. So thank you to both of you. And that's all I got to say. I hope everyone finds it as uplifting as I did.